Hello, my name is Terry Mosley. I am an instructor in the Education Emphasis Core for the Bachelor of Science in Radiation Science at Loma Linda University. This video fulfills the requirement for one of the classes I'm taking in curriculum development and higher education. Major role of educators is to challenge and motivate students to become independent thinkers. There are teaching techniques and classroom management strategies that can be used to encourage independent thought and enhance critical thinking. The purpose of this presentation is to provide ways of promoting critical thinking in the classroom. Enjoy the video.
My name is Dr. Brenda Boyd, and I'm going to be talking to you today about assessment and active learning. Let's start with the first question. What is assessment and what is active learning? Assessment is the ability for a teacher to determine if learning is really occurring. It can be done in a variety of ways. It can be done through tests, it can be done through active learning, it can be done through quizzes, projects, papers, role play, group activities. But today we're going to talk about active learning. The purpose of active learning is to create an environment where learning is fun, where the student engages in vivid activities where learning takes place at a deeper level. So I encourage you to go online, do a Google search for active learning or classroom assessment techniques, or CATS, C-A-T-S. Some examples of CATS are pair share, the exit pass, games, to name a few. But you can go online and take a look for yourself, or you can create some for yourself. So how is active learning used in a classroom to be able to help the instructor assess that students are learning? So with active learning, it's important to start a student out from where they begin, something that they already know. A pair share is a great way to engage students in learning for themselves. A pair share makes it possible for 2 or 3 students to get together, pair up, think about what is being asked, share about what their thoughts are on what's being asked, writing it down, and then when they're asked in class to shout it out, some of the things that they talked about, they are confident about sharing, they've had a chance to think about it, and they are engaged in their learning. Now they are on the road to going to the next step. What I like to use at the end of the lecture is what I call an exit pass. An exit pass is 3 questions. You can design them the way you want, but in general, the first question is, what did you learn today? Get them to write it down. The second question is, what do you still have confusion about from what was presented today? Well, if that question is brought up on a list and it's shouted out at the end of class, you can address whatever is still out there and students aren't understanding, they disagree with, they're uncomfortable with. And then the third thing is, how are they going to apply it? It's important in active learning that the student goes from relating to something in their life, applying it to their profession, and then exactly giving a time and date of when they're going to apply it. Active learning is a term used to describe the process of engaging a student in their own learning. Assessment is a term used to assess whether learning is actually taking place. An active learning activity gives the teacher the ability to get immediate feedback so adjustments can be made so learning can take place for the student. The worst thing that could happen is that the teacher goes along and teaches, and there's no assessment, and at the end, the teacher wonders whether the student learned anything. Sure, there's quizzes, there's final tests, but are those the best way to assess learning? Are those the best tools to actually create the learning environment for students to actually learn? It's one thing to memorize, to spit back what the teacher has taught. It's another thing for deep learning to occur. That change will happen as a result of that learning. And that is the main reason why active learning and in-progress assessment is so important in the learning environment.